Hello, boys and girls, and happy Tuesday. Welcome to another great week of e-learning. This week in ELA, we are going to continue determining the author's point of view. You will see many of the similar characteristics to last week, with addition of course, a few other character traits or characteristics, I should say, from last week, really going a little bit more into depth and getting more challenging as we go. So let's refresh our memory about what we were doing last week and how we're going to continue it this week. Last week, we read an expository text about voting. We determined author's point of view. We definitely used text evidence that you all did a phenomenal job at. We, of course, had our vocabulary of the week. Last week, we also learned about prefixes, which we will continue to learn about this week, but we will also focus on suffixes. And instead of voting text, last week we read about rights of Americans and how voting is a right, and then do you think children should have rights? This week we're going to be reading text about animals and animal rescue. We will also be learning about prefixes and suffixes this week to determine the meaning of unknown words. Our vocabulary of the week, please repeat after me. Caretakers, population, recognized, relatives, resources, success, survive, and threatened. Those are our 8 vocabulary words of our week. You may log on to McGraw-Hill as you did yesterday to learn more about those, or today you will also log in as well. Now, just like last week, we are continuing with an expository text. Remember, boys and girls, an expository text gives facts and information about a topic. It has headings. It tells what the section is about. It may include pictures, graphs, charts, captions, and much more. So again, this week we'll be reading more expository text pieces. Now remember, boys and girls, what is the author's point of view? Just like last week, by the end of this week, you should be able to read a text and tell me the author's point of view based on the important details you found. Just like you, an author has a point of view about a topic. How do we know what the author feels about a topic? We look for details. We show what the author thinks. And then we decide if we agree or disagree. So remember, again, we are determining author's purpose. Does the author's purpose think something is good, bad, important, not necessary, and so forth? Last week, we focused on prefixes, the words at the beginning of the base word, and you guys did a very nice job identifying prefixes. Again, re means again, un, not, pre, before, dis, opposite of or not, de, opposite, and miss, wrongly. So we are going to continue focusing on those. We are also going to add suffixes. A suffix is added to the end. So a prefix is added to the beginning, a suffix is added to the end, and it can also change the meaning. So for instance, er is a person who. So a teacher is a person who teaches. A singer is a person who sings. It can also mean more, such as bigger is more than big. Stronger is more than strong. Happier is more than happy. Another suffix that goes at the end of the word full, which means full of. So if you are cheerful, you are full of cheer. If you are helpful, you are full of help. Joyful, full of joy, and so forth. Another one we're going to be focusing on is less, which means without. So if you are fearless, you are without fear. If you are homeless, you are without a home. So remember, boys and girls, prefix and suffix, those little pieces of words together at the beginning and the end do mean something very important. Just again, keep in mind this week, if I ask us to do a text evidence piece, relate back to this video, read the text, think about the question, and be sure to use your sentence starters, which last week you did, boys and girls, and I was very impressed with many of you for using those. So today, just like we did last week, we're going to write a flow map trying to identify the author's point of view. Now let me go back to our story. Our story this week is called Kids to the Rescue. How can people help animals survive? Now, again, remember, boys and girls, this is an expository text. So read the title. It'll help you know what the text is about. In this case, it's Kids to the Rescue. I see a photograph of a sea turtle, so I am going to predict that this has to do with rescuing sea turtles and animals. If I go to the next page, again, captions, photographs. Remember, boys and girls, the subtitles let you know what this paragraph is about. So very, very important. When you pick your details to go into your flow map, make sure it is a detail that has to do with the title. Make sure it relates to the title of the paragraph. Again, a map, more photographs to help that it's expository. Our vocabulary words are highlighted. We have titles above each section in our book. So let me go back. Like I always do, I will do the first for you. So follow along with me as I read Kids to the Rescue. What a mess! There was dark, gooey oil everywhere. It slid across the water. It coated rocks and sand. It made swimming hard for sharks and dolphins. The oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico was making animals sick and helpless. Two kids from a small town in Georgia watched the news. They saw pictures of sea turtles coated with oil. They watched animals struggle to move. As a result, they decided it was time to do something. The animals in the Gulf needed two superheroes to help them. Okay, so I see my very first two paragraphs, and I'm looking at my title of Kids to the Rescue. So again, remember, boys and girls, I'm thinking that all my details must have to do with helping animals, in this case, sea turtles. So I'm going to go back to my flow map, and from the very first page, I'm going to say two children realize the animals need help after the oil spill. Detail number one. Let me go back to my text. I picked a detail from the very first page. So what you are going to do, boys and girls, as you read, you are going to pick an important detail from this section, Olivia and Carter to the rescue. You're going to pick an important detail from Oil Spoils Everything. Saving the turtles needs an important detail, and keeping busy needs an important detail. You can read it right from my screen here, or you can log on to McGraw-Hill and do so yourself. If I could go back. Okay, so your next task is to complete your flow map to help determine author's point of view. You should have an important detail from each page. Now remember, this title right here can help us determine an important detail. So make sure you're picking out a very important detail to add to your flow map at the end. So I have from the first page, there will be a second, third, fourth, and then right here, you might want to say, whoops. Oh my goodness. There we go. The author thinks, ... or the author believes. Again, if you want to write the page number, that is even extra. So very nice job there. I hope this helps. I will be talking with you soon at a morning meeting if I am not already. But again, boys and girls, use this video, read the text, and as always, try your best. Have an absolute wonderful day, and I will be seeing you soon. Bye, boys and girls.